This seems to happen a lot with me. I say something about trying to make more videos and then life happens and then I don't. Oops. Anyway, I've been dealing with some stuff in my personal life, and one of the ways I'm escaping my problems is to lose myself in a good book. I went through a reading slump for a few months, and seeing all these unread books on my TBR shelf started to weigh on me, so I picked the one that seemed the most interesting and started from there. I also decided to go back to therapy, so it's been hard to make videos with some kind of insight or a positive spin on it if I don't feel that way in real life. I don't want to make something depressing, I guess. I think there's already a lot of videos like that, and I'd rather not contribute. I read a book called Good Morning Monster by Gilidiner. She's a clinical psychologist, and her book follows the stories of a few patients she's had over the years and the progress they've made despite their past. It's a very interesting read. It's essentially a book about the indomitable human spirit. I really like to read books about people who go to therapy, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. I think going to therapy can sometimes be a lonely experience. There's not that many people in my life that I can celebrate progress with or breakthroughs with, so I like to read books about other people. Anytime they celebrate confronting and processing their pain, I get to celebrate alongside them in my own way, and I guess it makes me feel a little less lonely. The subject matter of this book did get a little heavy sometimes, so I had to take a break to bleach my brain, so I started reading other stuff too. Besides Good Morning Monster, I'm also reading My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Fredrick Backman and The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. They're both good, but I really enjoyed The Last Wish. The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, so reading this book is like reading a bunch of side quests in the game. It's pretty cool. Ever since I started therapy again, I've been slowly trying to get my life back together. It wasn't like it all fell apart, but the duct tape can only hold for so long, you know what I mean? One of the things I've been working on is emotional regulation. It may not seem like it, but your girl can get mad. Sometimes I react too quickly and say and do things that I don't mean, so I've been trying to put more space between them. For the past 2 years, I would meditate maybe a handful of times a month, and I wanted to bring the practice back into my daily habits. So I started exchanging my meditation time for playing Stardew Valley. Each in-game day is about 14 minutes long, so if I meditate for 14 minutes, I get to play a single day. I've been tracking my progress on a piece of graph paper, and let me tell you, it's super satisfying to see all the boxes colored in. Apparently, if you're trying to build a new habit, it's more motivating if you give yourself some kind of reward. So into the valley I go to star some dew. That sounds weird. My therapist has also encouraged me to start journaling again more consistently. I wouldn't say I journal daily, but it's at least several days a week. I think it's nice to sit down and use it as an emotional trash can. The more I put in there, the less I hold in my head. There's a lot of things going on in there already, so being able to get rid of some of it is actually kind of a game changer, to tell you the truth. It also helps me organize my thoughts, so it's easier to talk to my therapist about stuff. I also rearranged my whiteboard to be more productivity and habit-based. It used to be kind of a self-care check-in type board, but since I journal more now, it kind of became redundant.
Super jank, but let's just pretend they're perfect squares.
In this new layout, I organized it with a daily habits section, a weekly to-do list, and monthly goals. I highly recommend a whiteboard if you're trying to fix your life a little bit. I think it's really motivating to start the week being able to check off my meditation for the day and dive into whatever book best fits the vibe. I'm trying to fall back in love with reading again, too. Okay, maybe we were never in love, but we were at least friends with benefits. I'm a pretty casual reader. I usually average a few books a year, and so far this year, I've read 9 books, which is crazy for me. I don't think I'll ever be one of those people who reads like 100+ books a year, but knowing that I'm really close to hitting double digits is so exciting. I think it would be fun to talk about books sometimes on this channel. I think it's a natural progression in some ways. My content is self-reflective, and often the books I read have some sort of relation to that. I like to read psychology books, but I also really like fantasy. I want to develop my reading taste to reflect where I am in my life right now and my interests, and I can only do that by reading more books. I really want to read Robin Hobb, Stephen King, maybe a Sally Rooney. Low-key, I really want to read Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. I know it's early to say this because I'm recording this in June, but around Christmas time, I'm planning to do a video talking about all the books I've read this year. I think it would be really fun to just yap about them for who knows how long. But in the meantime, I'm out here trying to take care of myself. Shout out to my therapist. She can't watch this, but if she could, hi. But you can, so thank you for hanging out with me today while I ramble about life. I don't know when my next video will be. They just kind of show up, but in the meantime, I hope that you read a book. If you're in therapy, tell your therapist a secret. And I'll see you next time. Take care.